Hello, my beautiful angels. Welcome to the Rich, Hot, Fun Mama podcast. This is my first time recording a video version, and let's see how we go. There is construction everywhere. If you didn't know already, I live in Bali, so there is just so much background noise. Let's see how we go anyway. So, today's episode, I really wanted to focus on this one topic, and it's been like a spinner because I was just like, I'm not going to talk about this because this is way woo-woo. But I think we're here for the spiritual work. I think we're here for the spiritual journey. And I know that you are ready to be supported spiritually. And even if you just start to dip your toe into it, it'll just feel so much better. And this is an episode based on anytime you just feel exhausted and tired. This might correlate with children waking you up or problems in your life that are keeping you from having enough sleep, or you might just feel tired. And if you didn't already know, for many years I worked on a sleep forum helping mums with little babies get them to sleep better, improve their sleep. And one of the things that I would always talk about, and it's funny because now I look at it, it's exactly the same thing. I was saying the same thing that I'm saying now, but now I can have this spiritual underpinning knowledge with it, was that you're never alone. And that probably the hardest parts of our long nights with small children, or even long nights where we worry about things, money, lifestyle, desires, and they might stop us from having a good night's sleep, was that you're never alone. And as you rock your baby next to a crib, or if you're up with a 10-year-old with nightmares, or a 5-year-old who comes in and says, it's boring to be asleep now, all things that I have experienced, or you have older kids who have deep stressors and worries, I always wanted women to know that they were never alone. So when you're in those processes and you're feeling frustrated or you're feeling stressed, start to tap into the universal feminine energy of knowing that there's other women while the moon is like sky high, doing exactly the same thing, wishing you a deep and restful sleep and a peaceful journey through this time, okay? And something I've been tapping into over the last few years is support from the creator, from angels, from the universe, because I have many, many days just like you where I am completely exhausted and I do not see a way out. And one of the things that I like to do, and I think it's going to help you, I'm very conscious of your time, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet and a very practical way for you to tap into this, is if you are not already having any kind of spiritual practices, that means nothing. You can still ask for help, you can still ask for support. And even sometimes when I've had a full night's sleep, there will be days where I wake up and I just do not know how I'm going to make it through the day. It feels like concrete's in my legs. I know I'm not alone in that. I know we all have so many challenges in that regard. And so what I do in this circumstance, and I'm thinking about it because like last night, one of our ACs broke and we were all kind of like crammed in a couple of rooms and everyone was moving around in the night, and it just was not the ideal sleeping circumstances. And actually I woke up this morning and felt fine. One of the pups woke me up very early. So maybe I had 4 hours sleep. I actually felt fine today, so I wasn't needing to ask for anything and I wasn't needing to pull from my own spiritual bank. But yesterday, I woke up absolutely exhausted and only woke up once in the night, okay? And so what I like to do and what I'd like you to take practice in doing is when you feel exhausted, when you feel tired and you can't see how on earth you're going to get to work, how you're going to make it through work, how you're going to keep those things, the momentum of your day going. A lot of the time I find when we have a really big day, we feel so exhausted before because we're almost afraid of how we're going to get through it. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to simply ask God, creator, angels, universe, whatever word it is that you're wanting to use for help to feel full of energy and to move through your life's purpose. And your life's purpose right now might be just to take care of your children or just to get to work, okay? If you're building bigger things, it's to do those things as well. And so I'll simply say to myself, at a small moment in time where I might be drinking my coffee or I feel like I can just collect my thoughts, and I'll simply say to myself, Dear Creator, I cannot see a way through today. I feel exhausted and tired, maybe from worries about life or things that are going on. I'm going to ask you for help, for infinite energy in this day, for clear thoughts in this day, for me to react to things like the clean, calm, peaceful mother I am, and to not rely on tools like caffeine or food or other sort of silly energetic sources, but to know that I am sourced and fueled throughout my day, no matter what, and that I'm asking you for help with this. Please help me through this day. Please guide me through the next steps so that this day is one of my best days ever. I don't go on and on. I don't make it complicated, and I try and do it from a peaceful state, not a panicked state. So I don't actually recommend doing it first thing when you wake up, because sometimes you can feel angry or agitated. Wait until you've collected your thoughts a little bit on your day. And every time I've asked, I've had infinite energy. Every time. Infinite energy. I have the opportunity to nap or rest in most of my days. I could make that work if I wanted to, but I don't want to because it's not the most effective way to run my life. And sometimes I need to use energetic sources from somewhere else. It's sort of okay, well, normally I'm petrol powered. So normally I fill up my petrol tank with my 8 hours sleep and I'm okay and I can run off my petrol tank. But every now and then, maybe I need to lay in the sun and get sun as a source or use some other power source. And so when you're asking the Creator for help to get through your day, to give you infinite energy and to guide you on to the next right steps, you are simply saying, I just am needing to tap into sort of infinite source right now. And it works every time. So even if you have never spoken to the Creator or you don't really believe in prayer, that is absolutely fine. This can be an excellent way to get started. And maybe you won't feel the response in the first few times. Maybe you will be unsure to ask how to ask. What I'll do is write out the prayer and put it in the show notes so that you can screenshot it and you can just simply read it to yourself and say, okay, this is my prayer for going forward. What I do ask you, and this I think you need to be very careful of, is that you do not just simply wake up every day and just say, well, I just need help from the Creator, because you need to have an energetic source field of your own. So if you're not able to get 8 hours sleep, how are you able to get some rest during the day or become your own creator of a good reality? Because if we try and tap into the spiritual bank too much, then sometimes it gets emptied, and we don't want to empty it on that, okay? But there's some days where you just cannot see the light. You cannot see a way through, and this is for that. Whew. I would deeply, deeply love it if you could share this on your stories. If you can share it with a friend, send it to a friend who's feeling tired. Send it to a workmate who's feeling tired. This is not just for women with children. This would apply to my mum, who is a nurse and sometimes has to tap into energy that's beyond her own. And that's the thing I think we know, as women, and I'm only speaking to women, is that this is very much within our capacity on a daily basis, but there's times in our life where we have to knock on the door and ask for more than what we can create. So I love you. Please share this around. It would mean the absolute world to me. It gives the podcast an opportunity to grow, and it just gives women new ways and new ideas to see and do things that do not rely on others so much. I want them to know their own internal source.